I wasn't planning on making any Star Wars stuff for May the 4th because let's face it, other than little baby Yoda, there's not been that much great about Disney Star Wars lately. Oh, but they dropped something today we gotta talk about. Hello everyone, I am Becca Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy, and like I said, other than little baby Yoda. Oh, look at him! Oh, he's getting froggy. There he goes. Gulp. Oh, he's so cute. Eat the froggy. Ah, he's so cute. Other than baby Yoda eating the froggy and doing just the cute little baby Yoda stuff.
Baby, do the magic hand thing. Come on, baby. Do the
There he
magic
is.
hand thing.
Oh, hi. He says hi. He's so cute. Other than that, there's really not a lot that I'm excited for the Disney Star Wars stuff because let's face it, we've already seen pretty much everything destroyed that we've previously liked. Mary Ray Sue Palpatine came along and just took Luke's lightsaber, name, everything. His house.
You can't stop me, I'm a Jedi from Jakku.
Everything. And I'm just not that excited for any Disney Star Wars. And you know what? Here we go. Let's get right into it. Even with Taika Waititi directing, I don't know how excited I am for this. You know, he's made some interesting choices, and I get it. He directed an episode of The Mandalorian, sure. That's fine. His humor is very hit or miss sometimes for me, and as much as I liked Thor Ragnarok when I saw it, I don't know if I'm still gonna like it if I watch it again. That's the problem with some of his material, is that sometimes his jokes go a little too long. Sometimes they're a little too... out there. So yeah, sometimes they just go a little... I don't know if this is a good choice. I don't even know if I want to see any more Star Wars from Disney until they could really, really get their act together. But here we go. Taika Waititi will direct a new Star Wars movie for theatrical release, which he's co-writing with 1917 scribe Krysty Wilson Carnes? I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly. Disney and Lucasfilm announced on Monday. Oh, yeah. But the real important thing here, is they snuck this in an art. They didn't go with a full article themselves. They snuck this in here. The studio also confirmed the new untitled Star Wars TV series is in the works at Disney Plus from Russian doll creator Leslye Headland, which Variety reported on exclusively last month. Oh, we have that article. Boom, there you are. Star Wars series from Russian doll co-creator Leslye Headland is in the works at Disney Plus. Here's the thing, though, that they don't ever tell you. Who did she used to work for? Oh, Harvey Weinstein. Oh, yeah, she used to be his personal assistant. Who knows what she knows and might have been up to. Now, I can only speculate. I'm not accusing her of anything, obviously. But they're conveniently leaving that out of the headlines. And we've done countless videos across all of the Fandom Menace YouTube channels about her history and her previous employment. It's interesting to me, though, that they just snuck it in with the Taika Waititi article. It's like, oh, you are still going through with that, but how solid of a deal is it? Did they just give you oh, yeah, I guess so. I guess that's in the works. And here's what we see in Hollywood all the time. We get a lot of talk about, oh, yes, they're in plans to, they're in development of, they're going to do this. Just look at the Solo A Star Wars Story trilogy. Oh, wait, where is that? Because I can find countless articles saying that, yes, Alan Ehrenreich's Han Solo, A Star Wars Story, is in development, a sequel. He's signed for 3 movies. 3 movies! We're never going to see them. We're never going to see those, obviously. I don't know if we're ever going to see this TV series unless they have nothing else to put on there. Unless they've just messed it up so bad that they've decided to go and throw out all the scripts for the Obi-Wan series. The Cassian Andor series is in limbo right now, even though they keep re-announcing that, oh yeah, we got a new showrunner. But let's face it, right now, in this day and age, not a lot of stuff is actually getting produced. And we all know why. I don't need to go into the clip about the toilet paper stuff to even tell you that. We all get it. The point is, I don't think this one is really, really going to get a lot of traction, especially with the big announcement that is meant to overshadow it here. Taika Waititi is a much bigger deal than Leslye Headland, whatever her name is. Leslye Headland. He's a much bigger deal. He's a much more recognizable name. He doesn't have the attachment of being Harvey you-know-who's personal assistant. So he's a much more marketable candidate, in my opinion. Now, this is why you're here. This is why, I'm not just reading articles and stuff. I'm actually giving you a little bit of an opinion here. in my opinion, based on all of the information that I have, I think that Leslye Headland's people snuck in that little thing, and they're just kind of having to go along with it. They're just kind of having to go along and say, yeah, sure. And then they'll just ghost her and probably never call her back. That's my assessment of it, because that one dropped out of the blue, out of nowhere. It came, a month ago on Variety from nobody. And this was just a rumor, but it was treated like it was a real thing. So when I see it buried in the other article about Taika Waititi, I do have to question, how in development is it? How much we'll actually see? Is it going to be something that, like, okay, if the economy bounces back, if everybody really, really jumps on board with this girl power Sorry, I can't even get through that sentence all the way. It's silly in this day and age to still be on about, we need to put women in we already had women in Star Wars. It was never a big deal. I preferred Star Wars before it was just for women, when it was for everybody. Because, let's face it, all I really care about anymore is Baby Yoda. They've messed up the series so bad, and the franchise, and everything. Here we go. The Film News affirms reports that first broke in January that Waititi was developing a Star Wars movie on the heels of his well-received work directing the season finale of the hit Disney Plus Star Wars series The Mandalorian. It's unclear if Waititi's film is one of Disney's 3 untitled Star Wars movies dated for December 2022, 2024, and 2026, or if it's a separate project. Well, remember, we also have Kevin Feige involved. At one point, he was rumored to be involved and even announced officially. So what are they doing over there? I think they're trying to scramble. I think they're trying to fill in a lot of these release dates and trying to figure out, we actually need to have something in a few years from now that everything else is just getting shoved back to next year. Even James Bond No Time to Die has gotten shoved back until next year now because of you know what. So I don't know if this is even a viable thing. I don't even know if movie theaters are a viable thing anymore at this day and age. But sure, go ahead and give Taika Waititi a Star Wars movie. It's probably a much better option than this female-led series, because seriously, don't market it as female-led, because then you're just going to blame women and blame men for not watching it. You're going to blame women for being, you just didn't want it. You're just not a good enough Star Wars fan because you didn't like this thing that was specifically for you. What do I like that is specifically for me? Because if you ask me what I wanted, I can tell you what I want in a Star Wars movie, but hey, no one's asking me specifically. I want Jason Momoa holding Baby Yoda on his shoulder, driving around on a motorcycle. That'd be kind of interesting. I'd watch that one. Never happened. Okay, make it a speeder. Make it a motorcycle equivalent of a speeder. Sure, in the Star Wars universe, because we can't have anything too Star Warsy in Star Wars anymore. Especially with all the Yamama jokes that Rian Johnson threw in there, because that damn Star Wars. Really? I'm just rambling at this point. I'm not that excited for this. Previously, the filmmaker was coy about those reports when Variety asked about them in February after he won the Best Adapted Screenplay Oscar for Jojo Rabbit. And there were discussions about the Star Wars film, like, yeah, I discussed it with my friends in '96. How cool Star Wars was, Waititi mused in February. Here's the thing about Taika Waititi. He's got a bit of a sense of humor, and he does a little bit of the trolling and stuff online. Remember when we got the whole Lady Thor, Whammon Thor, whatever you want to call her, and people are like, we're worried about the mythos of Thor. And he responded on Twitter, I'll wreck your mythos in a minute, baby. He likes to have fun with people. He likes to poke fun at the criticism. I don't blame him. I do the same thing. I'll respond when I probably shouldn't. I think people see me hanging out with people, especially with Star Wars, and think I'm having some big discussion about it. I would effing love to. If I was right, I would want to do any kind of movie if it made sense. And if it felt not like career suicide. Ooh, is this actually throwing a little shade at Star Wars? Is this a little bit, maybe? Because at this point in history, there's a lot going on in Star Wars where pretty much if you direct a Star Wars movie, you're going to get criticized because of who's in charge, because of people like Kathleen Kennedy, who is there calling all the shots. And let's face it, in my opinion, she is grossly missing the mark of what Star Wars should be. She's there focusing on future fans that don't exist yet. and may never exist instead of the fans she already has. Oh, and here you go. This ties into a little bit more of what he's saying about the whole career suicide thing. This project is the first official Star Wars feature to be confirmed after Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss walked away from their deal last October to make a series of Star Wars movies. Did they walk away really? Because there's a lot of people out there speculating, myself included, that perhaps they didn't walk away, that they were asked to leave, that they were asked to cancel the business deal, that Disney and Lucasfilm said, yeah, we don't want any more people coming in that are going to be super controversial working on these movies. You got a lot of crossover fans between Game of Thrones and Star Wars. A lot of the geek fandoms have a lot of the similar types of fans, a little similar screen names. I see you guys all the time from stream to stream to stream. I'm not unaware of this. Star Wars is finally becoming aware of this. That, yeah, you're going to have somebody who likes Star Wars and Game of Thrones, and how many millions of people were upset about Game of Thrones? Do they really want that to be brought in, that baggage of all the people who just won't even give it a shot? Because of how badly Game of Thrones failed miserably for so many people. But I can see why it would make sense that they would want to get rid of them instead of them resigning. Or at the very least, let them be allowed to resign. That's the other thing. You have a Hollywood contract, they pretty much get you to work. And of course, it's under the studio's decision on whether or not they're going to actually honor your contract. And this brings me back to the Solo a Star Wars Story argument. I have been saying forever that Solo a Star Wars Story is not going to be a trilogy. They're not going to make 3 movies of it. There's no way they're going to make 3 movies. Sure, Alden Ehrenreich has a contract that he's going to be Han Solo in 3 movies. If the studio chooses to make those movies, they're never going to happen. And of course, that's why it was a non-surprise that these guys were not going to be doing their movie. And that's why I figured, oh, they're probably just getting ghosted or allowed to resign. And if this series actually comes to be, then I'm going to laugh and mock it relentlessly because it's probably going to deserve it. If it's good, I'll praise it. But let's face it, I don't even like The Mandalorian that much. I don't like it for little baby Yoda. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am Becca Random42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Thanks for watching! If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video!